I pokes and jokes.
All right, this is Sir Wilkins of the Job and Tears podcast, and I'm with the homies from Pokes&Chokes, and we're doing a collab. We're gonna be talking wrestling, the state of wrestling, and we're also gonna play a little game called GM mode. What would we do?
It's a lot different.
Yeah. A lot, but it's gonna be interesting.
All right, so
I'm gonna say brought to you by Essentia, but not fucking around.
Some kind of purified water. That's all we need right now.
And Purell.
Oh,
hey. Yeah.
I stole that one from work. I was like, fuck that.
Okay. I used to work at a school a while back, and I used to borrow a lot of things from work. Like, I used to go to supply class and be like, oh.
Yo, you know how many notebooks I need right now? Like, I just need to keep writing. I need mad notebooks. I'm just writing on fucking copy paper right now.
You have a laptop, sir.
Like, I need. Listen, I have a pen in hand right now. I always have to have pen and paper.
I hate typing. I absolutely hate typing. I think I'm like the only millennial that hates typing. Like I'm a writer.
Yeah, I hate it when it comes down to
like writing.
Wi-Fi.
But sometimes what'd you say?
Like Wi-Fi fucks me up. I need, like, if I'm writing a script or something, I have to look back and forth at a paper because the Wi-Fi will get me off track.
Like, my shit is, if I'm writing, I'm gonna eventually write fast enough that it's gonna be scribbled, and I'm like, what the fuck is that word? So, like, for me, typing, I'm just gonna be like immediately just doing everything that I have to do.
I get you.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So a lot's been going on in wrestling over the past, like, what has it been, a month? The whole dynamic of wrestling has changed. Empty arenas across all boards, except for ROH and New Japan Wrestling. But Impact is still taping.
But I don't want to talk about Ring of Honor. Like, their format of TV right now is pretty much what it should be right now, but it's been that format for like the last
5 years.
No, I'll say like the last 6 months. The TV show that they have is pretty much a highlight show, which is good, but you should have implemented that right now. It should have been like that 3 months ago.
Yeah, true. And it's funny because they're owned by a TV company,
which is the craziest shit. That's he always brings it up. He's like, it's fucking Sinclair Broadcasting. Like, what the fuck are they doing? Like, he brings it up all the time whenever we get into like a Ring of Honor like discussion.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense to me because, like, one of the biggest reasons why WWE did well during the Attitude Era was because, like, a TV person came in and told them how to, like, cut the segments in a way that it fits TV. So I don't get it.
I don't know.
If you don't know nothing about wrestling, you don't care to make the product good. Yeah, it might be like a tax break for them, low key. Like, they just dump
for sure, because they have it's pretty much kind of like Fox. They have a whole bunch of other channels as well, but they're not utilizing them to like come out and sync for Ring of Honor. For some weird reason, it doesn't come out one day across the board, and they should. That would be the easy way to make your shit pop, but It's not happening.
And people want that demographic. Advertisers, they want that particular demographic, which is like 18, like 35, I think it is, whatever the range is. Yeah. They want that. So I don't understand why they don't fuck with it, really.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't make sense of it.
Whoever's running it isn't running it properly, and that's what it comes down to. Like, you clearly have the resources available to be able to do certain things, and then at the end of the day, you just don't do those things, and it's like, but everybody else is doing it, and like look at AEW already doing it like better than Ring of Honor, like easily better than Ring of Honor.
I love it, but I hate
probably as good as fucking WWE, even sometimes better than WWE. Not all the time, but like he bits and pieces there. But like for the most part, Ring of Honor is they're just behind the times. To me, they feel like where I work, where they're just behind the times with certain things that other luxury brands are doing or this and that. But for the most part, it's just like they're just stuck in a certain way that doesn't make sense. Like if you want to advance and make your shit better, do the things that you need to do. And that's it. Call it a day. Impact started doing that. Remember how much shit I used to talk about Impact? And they started like, okay, we got to do this, this, and this. We got to start streaming shit. We got to start doing this. Everything that we said, they started doing. And I was like, oh, okay. Yeah. Feels like they watched our shit. They didn't probably, but you know, it's still like at the end of the day, you don't know. Yeah, you never know because people like just random shit like, oh shit, you know, people might have a point. So Ring of Honor just needs to. They used to be like number 2 in the US, and then like after a certain while,
after
like,
Impact got their shit together, AEW popped up. It was over for them.
Mm-hmm.
So, what do you think about AEW? What has it been? Almost a year now. It's almost been a year now.
Going on a year from their first show.
Their first show was in October, right? Was it October? Their first
was in May. Their Double or Nothing was in May.
That was in May.
Was that? So they count as AEW? Double or Nothing count as AEW?
Yes, Double or Nothing does, but All In is what we always refer to. But All In doesn't really count because that's exactly that's
All In was a prequel kind of to the whole thing. Yeah,
that's the predecessor.
Yeah,
it was a prequel to the AEW universe.
Yeah, it was a teaser of look what's about to happen if Ring of Honor don't put their money up.
Yeah. And they didn't put their money up. Exactly, that's exactly what happened. I think so far, like, regardless of everything that's happened with COVID-19, us all being shut away, and that I'm still doing like the behind closed door sets and all that stuff. Like, I think they're doing a great job. They're beating NXT in and out, no problem. Like, people are barely watching NXT, and that's been since even. Like we talked about the other week when we did the Instagram live, like earlier this week, that the last time NXT beat AEW on a Wednesday night was when Finn Balor came back, and that's a testament.
They won 2 weeks in a row for that. So since October,
that's the last time.
Since October, they do have 3 weeks that they beat AEW, which it counts.
And when did AEW come on TV? September, right?
No, was it September?
I think it was late September or early October. Either way,
NXT did September. NXT did September. They did it the week before,
right?
And
right.
And AEW did October.
So look at that. October. So pretty much their first couple of weeks, they had that NXT. They sent Finn Balor back down. They lost a couple, and since then it's been a wash, pretty much. Like,
yeah, but it's been really, really even as far as the numbers go. So,
but they've still beaten them every time. Dude, you know how many times you sent me stuff like, oh, AEW won again, AEW won again?
I know. I'm just saying that it's been even as far as numbers go. It's not like a crazy 1 million to 500,000.
No, but they're still winning.
But my thing with AEW, their fan base is like different. They're the hardcore of hardcore, where they're gonna put 3 TVs on to try to get like their ratings.
Yeah, I agree with that on like a lot of levels. Unfortunately, it's a lot of the marks, to be honest with you.
And a lot of people that's just tired of
WWE's
ways.
But a lot of people who watch AEW watch NXT.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I feel AEW is also an acquired taste. Like, it's not for the casual fan.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to know most of the people there. 90% of the people there. Nobody there is like super mainstream, everything like besides Jericho, you can say.
Yeah, Jericho, Moxley, and
maybe people who did watch him during his time in WWE.
The last couple of years.
Goldust shit, probably like only a couple people here and there.
Yeah, and then if you see Billy Gunn pop up here and there, you know who that is.
You know DDP, Arn Anderson. Yeah.
I just feel like it's a different fan base different from NXT.
It is.
Yeah.
And NXT is a lot of supposedly older people watch NXT. I didn't know that. That's what the
demographic in age is like above 30s, like easily.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it comes from people that used to watch. Obviously, we grew up watching WWF, not WWE. We grew up watching that. And then from going from WWF to WWE after the Attitude Era, after the Ruthless Aggression Era, kind of got really stale. We started looking for new and better like promotions. So people started branching out to Ring of Honor. Yeah. Ring of Honor is connected to New Japan, so that was an easy fucking transition to New Japan. Yeah. People going to New Japan didn't know. You're watching a bunch of Japanese wrestlers you've never heard of. But when you look at the content and how they wrestle and how in-depth it is and how long the storylines could go, that Kenny Omega and Okada storyline was 2 years long. Even though it wasn't like all at once, it's them back and forth all the time. It was one fight, then 6 months in between, different storylines diverged and then came back. So like they paced it properly and they created story. And honestly speaking, it comes from their fucking, like, I watch anime. It comes from there. Like if you watch it, you're watching wrestling anime. It's damn near the same thing. It's like, okay, this is
a lot of action anime.
Yeah, and that's what it is. So like the way you look at it, like their storyboarding, the way they pace it, the way they plot everything out makes a lot of sense. So when you start seeing things like that, when you start seeing the Kenny Omegas, when you start seeing the Young Bucks switching back between Ring of Honor and New Japan, and then going from there to like Impact and doing other things, doing indie stuff, all those people then move to AEW. That's what you get. You see all those people that watched New Japan, that watched Ring of Honor, and that watched WWE before, like right after the Ruthless Aggression Era ended. They all shifted to AEW because like it reminds them somewhat of the time with the old shit with the WWF, like
better storylines and more in depth storylines.
Yeah, it is. New Japan is different. New Japan is another thing where it's the same type of people that watch AEW. It's those same type of guys where, because I know people who I'll ask them, what do you think about AEW? They're like, nah, I don't like it. It's a mess. But then
sometimes it is.
I have another group of people who I'm talking about casual fans. Like maybe it's somebody from my shoot job who like used to watch wrestling and came back to it. I know another guy, like he's an old head wrestling fan. He's like, yo, I watch AEW. I kind of enjoy it because it's an old school feel it gives me.
Yeah.
But if you're a WWE mark, you're not going to like AEW.
No, not at all.
From what I've seen. And also, I enjoy AEW to an extent. And one of the biggest things about AEW is that I love the fact that they're about wrestling and they're about it, but it's sometimes too much of an indie feel to me. Like, they should not have a 45-minute match. I'm sorry.
Depending on who it is and depending on the storyline, but sometimes...
45 minutes match for a tag team? I don't care what Meltzer's telling you guys. Meltzer said about the greatest tag team match of all time.
That is kind of long.
45 minutes?
It depends. To me, it just depends, and sometimes it does get long, and weary, and it's just like, okay, I can be doing something else at the same time. It really depends on how significant the match is, as far as do I need to be watching it.
That too. Like, depends on story.
It needs to matter. If it doesn't matter, I'm not going to be that into it. So I don't think it always should be 45 minutes, but certain matches do.
But that's how they wrestle a lot of times, though. It's like 30, 45 minutes, and it's mad like false finishes. And I get it. You want to create that drama within the match. I get that. Because I get mad when Triple H does it. But his 45-minute matches into an hour match, like,
They'd be good.
Up.
Yeah.
No, yeah, and it's true. And even like during WrestleMania, like this one that just passed, like that fucking the Edge and the Randy Orton match was way too fucking long. There were so many times I looked up, I'm like, these motherfuckers still going. Like,
the one with the
I started texting, and because this is the first WrestleMania in like 8 years I'm not doing a viewing party for it. Yeah. So I was at the crib trying to enjoy it. Like, my girl I told my girl we're not talking for the next weeks. I'm going to text you randomly, because we usually have like date nights on like Sunday, like virtual date nights.
Okay. Yeah.
And I was like, we ain't doing that. WrestleMania's on. 2 nights. And then I was like, yo, I can't enjoy it. This is way too long. This is way too long. But then again, it's that old school thing. It's Randy. Randy wrestles like he's in 1991.
Yeah, he wrestles like Triple H. He wrestles like Triple H.
Yeah, technician.
Yeah.
One hold, a little wrestle here, a little walk around because I'm a heel. I'm gonna talk shit, then come back to that body part again.
It's sometimes it's good, sometimes it isn't. It's just like certain styles just are not for certain times. Like sometimes matches just need to be sped up. Like it's the Ric Flair type of match. It's the evolution of the tree. Pun intended. Is Flair, Triple H, Randy. They have those long heel type matches, and they're stretched out to the detriment sometimes.
I'm not a huge fan of that 45-minute match unless it's an Iron Man match and you're giving me multiple pinfalls. I need multiple pinfalls throughout the match. But since we're on AEW, I want to talk about Kenny Omega a little bit more.
Okay, let's go.
If you guys been like paying attention to Twitter and all online.
Yeah, everyone hates him now. Everyone hates Kenny now.
And he had a match last week where, and I understood where people were coming from, but I understood where Kenny was coming from.
That was a great match.
It was against a jobber, and a lot of people were like, yo,
I don't want to call him a jobber.
This should have been a fucking 5-minute match. What are your thoughts on that? Let's chat it up.
Well, I know Alex didn't see that match.
No, I didn't. So I have no idea what you're talking about. Honestly,
it was a match against Alan Angels.
We'll just talk about after me and Cole talk about. We'll kind of dissect Kenny as a whole in AEW so far. We'll kind of go into that. But go ahead, Cooler.
Yeah, I'm gonna let Alex go and talk about how much he's putting everyone over for the fact that he doesn't need a title. It was a good match. I liked it. I liked the back and forth. Just because you don't know somebody, it doesn't give you doesn't mean that he should be a jobber. You just don't know this guy. He put this guy, Alan Angels, over on live television. It was a good back and forth. I don't think it needed to be 5 minutes or less. It was a good back and forth from somebody you don't know where you might want to know about him. Like, even with Jericho on commentary, Jericho was saying his name over and over, saying it wrong, and Tony Schiavone is actually correcting him. Like, no, it's Angels. Like, he was calling him by, Jericho was calling him by his shoot name. Great, but just the match itself, it was great to me. As what AEW should be, their star breaking, especially in this time right now where their stars are not on hand because a lot of people are really scared about not social distancing. So I get it. I liked the match. It was a good back and forth, and it got to a point where it didn't look like Kenny was playing with him, but it got to a point where Kenny looked like he could have really lost the match.
I get that, but the thing is, when is Kenny gonna stop putting over other people? Because you came over to the U.S. to help carry a company. You're a superstar.
Yeah, but he's also still.
But he's also a VP. That's the thing. He's trying to build the rest of the thing, and I get what you're saying. I understand wholeheartedly what you're saying.
Wait.
Best bout machine.
Hold on, I have a question. Did you see Dark Side of Wrestling? Dark Side of the Ring?
Which one?
This last episode with Dino Bravo.
Yes.
I'm going to put it in that kind of vein. Do you want Kenny Omega to be him? Where
one has nothing to do with the other, dude.
It does when you're a promoter and you can bury your own company. It does have a comparison. It's not completely the same because it's not him alone. It's not only his company, but he brings eyes. He brings talent. I don't want AEW to just go away because nobody wants to now work with the EVPs because they already know what's going to happen.
And yeah, I think that was I think that was a mindset from the beginning of AEW. Yes, you have Cody Rhodes, that was a multiple-time champion, especially even in New Japan and fucking Impact and whatever. He, before forming all that stuff, before getting into the Bullet Club, multiple-time champ. You have Kenny Omega, best bout machine, fucking multi-time champ, tag champ, junior heavyweight champ. he was fucking beast. You had the Young Bucks. They're all well-renowned, all known as being the best in their craft. When you bring them to AEW, like he said, I agree with him on that. Like he said, like you don't want them to be hogging all the limelight. And then on top of that, you bring Chris Jericho. So you bring Chris Jericho, the biggest known name there, have him be the standard bearer for a while. And yes, you do want to build your roster around Chris Jericho and around your EVPs because you don't want to rush them to be champions. You want them to struggle a little bit because you kind of want to put the dynamic of them being EVPs into that a little bit. So
and that's the storylines.
And that's part of the storyline. Exactly. That's definitely part of the storyline because you see it even in Being the Elite, like on YouTube. That's part of storyline for WWE, for AEW, sorry. And the thing is, it's just, you don't want to rush it. So when Kenny does win the title, it's going to be a big fucking deal. Whenever Cody does win the title and whatever fucking loophole they find for him to actually challenge for the title, it's going to be a pretty fucking big deal. That TNT title is fucking hideous on top of that, just because you mentioned it. I don't know if it's real. I don't think that's it, but still. Either way, like, no.
It's just pictures online, and it's a couple of ugly titles. They haven't showed it yet. I think they're gonna show it towards like the finals, I guess.
I mean, the women's title is hideous, but whatever.
Yeah,
it's just a toy title. It's not ugly. It's just a toy title. I just don't like the fact that it was made for who the first champion was.
It was made for Rio, honestly. But like, besides that, back to like the original thing, like
I know that's another thing. That's another thing. Yes.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
We know.
Okay, I disagree with both of y'all. I get what you guys are saying. EVP, you want them to not overshadow the talent. But you need to build a company. And if at one point, Kenny was considered the best wrestler in the world by like across all margins, people were just saying this guy's the best guy in the world. Like he was one of the hottest free agents at one time. Like people were like, is he going to go to
2016 to 2018? Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Now, you're trying to bring in other people besides the smarts. And I heard Cody say the other day, like a while ago, he's like, we don't care. We're doing well. They're doing better. We're doing better than we expected whatsoever. Great.
Yeah.
And it was supposed to be doing like 400,000, 500,000 in ratings, but they're doing like close to double that.
Yeah.
But don't you want to do 1.5?
Of course. But
one of the guys who is literally can bring in Japanese fans and your American fans together and put them on your program as one of the top guys. And I get it. Cody's not a top guy. Cody goes in and out of being the top guy. You know, he kind of finds like that middle ground. And you have the Young Bucks building up the tag team division and putting guys over, taking the title, putting guys over. And Chris Jericho did his job. He became the first champion. But another legit feud between Chris Jericho and Kenny.
That's gonna happen.
Yeah, I don't think that's even done yet, based on the fact that
they're 1-1.
Yeah, like the fact that like when it goes back to their style of promos and their style of feuding and storylines, it still goes back to the niche New Japan style. So it's not over at all. And even just to piggyback on you about the idea of just getting fans everywhere else, they have a partnership with OWE in China, and they have a partnership with AAA. My thing is, Kenny does have a AAA title. We don't see that much of it.
He does, actually.
That definitely annoys me. It annoys me. I like the fact that he has the title. It annoys me that we don't see it much. The last time
he shouldn't have that title there.
Why not?
You are. I don't care about these partnerships. You are building a federation in America. This is not an independent federation where I have my BCW title. I'm gonna walk into Battle fucking Club. No, we're not doing that.
Sure.
We are. Yeah. I don't want to. Okay, let's say for instance, Pokes and Chokes has a federation, and then I walk in with my Jabba Tears title. Nigga, no. Y'all gonna be looking at me like, what are you doing?
I'm just gonna get a spray paint can.
There's like does like some type of like they do pay-per-views together, like legit, like have a legit like on-screen partnership.
Yeah, because like that needs to happen.
What's going on? So that needs to happen, and I get it. They want to build and branch off because a lot of their guys aren't on guaranteed contracts. They're on some different type of contracts. So we know as different things go on, blah, blah, blah. I get it. But there's a reason why companies go big because they brand themselves.
It's true.
Why am I putting somebody over? Let's be selfish here. These guys need to be a little bit more selfish and stop having the fans dictate what goes on.
Yeah, because the fans are dictating a little bit too much to me as well. But I feel the same way about the titles as you do. Like Kenny should have one, even though he does have the tag team title, and he's also putting over Kenny's putting over Adam Page at the moment,
and he's doing good with that.
Yeah.
I agree with you, cool on that one. He's doing great with that. I just don't like him in the singles way. So we have this tag team. All right.
Yeah, but he also does have the best. He's one of the better rankings in the singles. I think he has like 7 or 8 wins to no losses.
I think he's top 2 or 3 right now.
He's top 2.
Does that really matter? Does that really matter?
It depends. It does, but it doesn't.
Ask Cody.
The one thing that makes it not matter is who he's fighting. So even with the great match that he had with Alan Angels.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter because it's just a win that we knew he was going to get because he's an unknown superstar. He's an indie star.
If the Lakers are playing the fucking Timberwolves.
So you're talking about strength of schedule pretty much. That's pretty much what you're going off of. Okay, fair enough. That's fair enough.
Yeah.
Or playing the Knicks. Yeah.
But like, okay, we're playing the Knicks, right? Like,
it's going to be a sellout, but it's also going to be a blowout.
Exactly. And once again, I want AEW to succeed. Because I know enough wrestlers that gives them more options. It gives us something to talk about, something to watch. Like we're getting to see, because I was never a New Japan guy 100%. You guys know that, but I watched a little bit of it. But now I get to see these superstars from New Japan come in and really show themselves. But what if you get somebody that only heard about Kenny, only saw the highlights, and they see the match? Oh, so he just loses?
Like he has great matches with nobodies. Like those are the arguments. Like I'm well aware of these arguments. I'm in them and I'm like, okay, you just don't know about these other stars and you're not willing to learn because I'm that way when it comes to a lot of stars in WWE as well. When like, okay, they were stars here and I know of them. And I don't care about what they're doing here because it's WWE. They're not really putting them over. It's more of a bullshit gimmick. Like, look at the Viking Raiders right now. Like, they had a bullshit promo in the car. That car promo was super trash and so unorganic.
It was, but they could do something with that.
Okay.
You don't think so? Alex, you don't
I
think
don't
so?
see it. I don't see it, but you can always do anything with anything.
You can do something with it. Imagine them out at Applebee's, bro, with their Viking stuff on. Come on.
I mean, if you want to get silly with it and shit, fine. But the problem is they make a lot of these tag teams that are fucking seriously good tag teams. Like, what's it called? Fandango and Tyler Breeze. Seriously good, talented as fuck individuals and tag teams. And made a fucking joke out of it. Yes, they ran with it. They did what they had to do. And it actually turned out pretty fucking great on their end because they kept coming up with shit.
That's the first match that the Usos had in their new gimmick that really put them over for me.
Yeah. But the thing was, like, that's what WWE does. You have a good tag team. And I understand, like, you know, Viking Raiders, they can do funny shit like that. And they probably are fun like that. Like, but for me, seeing them from New Japan, seeing them just demolish motherfuckers and just straight running through everybody, doing what they're doing now, but like at a more like bruising pace, like to see them kind of like not go down, but like just switch it up and be almost like comedic. It doesn't fit for me.
Turning them Disney doesn't work for me. Turning them Disney does not work for me.
They do a lot of that shit.
You know what it is, guys? You know when you saw Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire?
Yeah.
The cartoon?
other Spider-Man with what's that dude? Last name Garfield or something like that. What's
Yeah.
Andrew Garfield, yeah.
Andrew Garfield. And then you have the new Spider-Man, Tom Holland. Right? They're all different.
Yeah.
That's how you got to think about it. It's a different movie.
Of
We
course.
can't think about the old movies, the old universes, the multiverse of wrestling. You need this one universe.
Wait. You're saying you can't talk about the old shit as much as WWE brings back old shit all the time? Fucking Undertaker's still wrestling at 58 years old. He's not 58 years old, obviously, but still,
you can't think about the stuff that people did in previous and other federations. Now, I'm going back on my Kenny talk because I said he was in New Japan and he came over to AEW. What the fuck you doing?
Mm-hmm.
But they kind of promoted him as being that guy.
I mean, he still technically is that guy. If you watch his biggest matches, it's hard to fucking even the AEW, the big matches he was in were big fucking matches, were awesome fucking matches. So he's still that guy. The problem is
also hour-long matches.
Exactly.
Outside of AEW, those were hour-long matches.
They were good though. I ain't gonna lie. Like a lot of people didn't like that Moxley match. I loved it.
Oh, they were awesome matches, dude.
I thoroughly loved that match. But I was like, nah, this is too much. This is reckless. Nah. I love
the thing is, I agree with you. Like they're a little bit too caught up in the EVP role, and which is what they're trying to work into the storylines. But at the same time, like you're right, be a little bit more selfish. Start booking yourself a little bit here and there. Stop listening to the fans as much because, like you both said, I agree. They are listening to the fans a little bit too much. You have to strike. They're trying to find that nice balance where they could do things, but at the same time, like at one point, you're just gonna have to say, all right, fuck what y'all think for now.
They're scared of making the enemies. They don't want to be Triple H. They don't want to bury young talent.
Sometimes you have to be them.
Of course, there's some talent that needs to be buried. That sounds horrible, but there are some that are not going to want to be
buried. Just
sent to
like, yo, wait your turn. We're figuring something out. We're trying to like increase the brand, and then it's going to be your turn soon enough. Sometimes they won't wait. That's fine. I get that, and they'll leave. But you know what? If they don't want to be there, then they don't have to be there.
They're thinking more like about what they went through.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like for instance, Cody went through hell in WWE.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they gave him a damn Tony Stark's gimmick.
Yeah, he went through hell in WWE, and the Bucks been buried before in other promotions besides New Japan, and Kenny didn't get his full due in WWE when he was the little time that he was there. Yeah. And I think they're all thinking like, yo, there was talented guys that I saw in the locker room, talented guys like myself who didn't get put over, and we're not gonna do the same mistake here. And I understand, but I think they're being way too careful at this point.
They're being careful, and that's the whole reason why there are so many groups and factions right now, because that's the only way to survive is if you have a group of people looking out for you, if you're clicked up. That's really the only way to survive.
And I'm okay with that because you're getting that from New Japan where you have the Chaos faction, you have Bullet Club, you have like these big stables that, yes, you have individual people in them. If you go that route, that's fine because you don't always have to get played, but you're still part of that faction. Sometimes you don't see fucking Minoru Suzuki for a while, but when he comes out, oh shit, that's Suzuki going right there. Like, fuck somebody. He lets other people take the role because on top of that, he's a little older. But the thing is, like, whenever you see him again, you're gonna be like, oh shit, all right, bet.
So what do you guys think about WWE going currently the product with WWE? Things that's going on, all the releases, them.
I like the releases. I like some of the releases.
Okay, why?
A lot of the releases make sense
because some of them did not want to be there. Some of them gave hell with renegotiating contracts like the club. A lot of people just weren't being. Say that again.
The club did resign.
They re-signed and then they got released. That's what happened. Yes, they re-signed in maybe about I think February, maybe January, maybe a little bit earlier than that, but I'm not sure exactly when. But they re-signed and then they got released. Who else wanted to be? They were not utilizing Eric Young.
Wanted to leave. Eric Young probably wanted to leave.
A lot of these people were either not utilized, wanting to leave, or just had nothing for them.
The Revival wanted to leave. Like, it just made sense. Because the thing is, a lot.
Go ahead.
the thing is, a lot of people like think that, oh, it's fucked up. And you know what? It is to a certain extent. But a lot of people don't understand that like the 90-day clause is there just in case if they want to bring them back. That's a big fucking deal with that. Like, that's why it's part of it. What happened?
They're still getting paid during that 90-day.
Exactly. A lot of people don't understand that shit. That they are. So, yes, they got released, but for those 90 days, the reason why they can't be with other promotions is because they're still getting paid. You're just not with the company anymore, but you're essentially being paid severance for the most part. And the thing is, like, most of these people, like you said, they wanted to leave. Rusev, they wouldn't meet him on his contract issues, and this was the perfect spot. The Revival wanted to leave since last year. They gave him a new contract, and then this year they wanted either more money or just leave. And it was big. They just wanted a fucking dip. They wanted creative stuff, and they didn't get it. So they were like, "Yo, we're out," and they were like, "Fine, perfect time for you to go." But a lot of these people, for me, I'm looking at this more like, yes, they were released. Yes, it sounds fucked up, but they're mostly kind of like actually on furlough more than anything.
Yeah. So half of these releases make sense. Half of them don't.
And half of them will come back.
To me, Drake Mavericks doesn't really make sense because they're still utilizing him. Leo Rush does not make sense to me.
Leo Rush makes sense.
Kurt Angle doesn't make sense as a legend. He kind of does and doesn't. He doesn't make sense because he's a legend. His release makes sense because the amount of money that his contract probably is worth, and the fact that he's a legend, he can do anything anywhere else. And Leo, like I said, Leo Rush makes sense, but Leo Rush doesn't make sense, but it makes sense for him because you can do anything anywhere else.
So we can all agree that most of them made sense. If you really go through the list, it made sense of them being released. Yeah. One of the biggest ones was the Revival. The Revival, they got tossed. I heard they got tossed crazy money at them. Like, it was just like, yo, we're throwing the brake truck at you right now. Yeah. This money. And they were like, no, absolutely not.
Yeah, because tag teams is big in AEW right now.
It's big everywhere else.
Yeah. Everywhere except for WWE, which is completely true.
So the Revival was out of here. The one that didn't make sense was the Good Brothers. Carl Anderson, Luke Gallows.
Not at all. But I also it does and it doesn't. Because
why does?
Besides, how many times were they champions? Were they like ever really like champ?
Maybe 2 or 3 times.
Maybe 2 or 3 times.
I feel like they've held both Raw and SmackDown champions.
Okay.
Championship titles.
Fair enough. I just think that I don't know. There was something off about them. I don't know if it's just the way creative was with the stable that it didn't make sense, or that they try to make it like. The thing is, if you create the OC, the original club, whatever, I get it. But at the same time, you're not expanding upon that to make them look like they're the OC, like they're actual leaders, and it just didn't make sense to me.
They made money off of teasing the Bullet Club with all 4 members, but they never did anything together, even though they put them with everyone.
They should have brought in fucking Finn Balor. That would have made a lot more sense. You would have had Undisputed Era versus fucking the OC.
Oh my fucking God.
That would have been fucking nuts. God. Everybody would have lost their shit.
They would have they should have done that for Survivor Series.
They should have. But they many missed opportunities, dude.
Okay, so as we're talking, because we're in GM mode now, let's go into GM mode.
Let's get into it.
What would you have? Like Luke Gallows, Carl Anderson, they come to you, it's like, yo, we want to do something. What do you have for us, G? What do you have for us?
Honestly speaking, like, I would have done exactly what I said. I would have put the club, and I would have put them together with AJ Styles and with Finn Balor. That's literally 3 of the original that started the fucking Bullet Club. And you have him being known as like Prince now. I think he's been called Prince Balor and shit. Like, you could have done that so easily. And then, like you said, going all the way to fucking Survivor Series where they're all fighting against each other, you could have. They didn't even have to wrestle each other. You could have just teased it in the ring, them Undisputed Era and Bullet Club, or whatever they would be called, the OC, in the ring at the same time, standing off, or in the Royal Rumble, all 8 of them are still in there. It would have been fucking nuts because guess what? This dude was part of the Bullet Club too, Adam Cole. And then you have like it would have made so much sense to just have that going forward, but they just didn't want to copy. They wanted to seem original, and like it just you could have done it. There's so many ways you could have done it.
You also know Vince. One, he doesn't like stables. Two, he also does not like other ideas or copied ideas.
That's what I'm saying.
So and that's why it didn't happen. But yeah, I would definitely pull the trigger on that as well because there's so many different ways to go with that.
That would have brought so much money in, dude.
And it would have even like the stable that I'm not sure of what the stable was called, but the stable with Seth Rollins on Raw, like to throw them into the mix as well. It would have put Seth in that group over as well if it would have been those 3 groups together.
This group is a fucking joke.
Call it what you want, but Buddy Murphy is dope.
I'm not saying he's not. I'm just saying it's a joke.
For me, I kind of would have done what you guys done with the Bullet Club, with the OC, but I would have them kidnap Finn Balor.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kidnap Finn Balor and torture him, and then he comes back as the prince. Now he's part of it.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that's the perfect beginning.
And then Survivor Series comes around. They do that little thing that they have going. Then, and like any fucking stable, I would have a legit feud between Finn and AJ.
Yeah, because you'd be like, I was the original, bro. Like, straight up.
Something around that. We can work something around that. And listen, I know what Vince thinks. I know what they want to do, but have that going on. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just do it because the merch that you will sell.
Yeah. Like, it'll be the new Bullet Club shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's going to be the new Bullet Club. There's so much money behind those two. And it also puts over Finn. It puts over Finn. It gets
way more over than he is now because he's not really that over.
Because I'm not a huge fan of Finn. I'm just going to be honest with you.
That's fine. His star has dwindled.
I never was a fan when he got there. I thought he was great, but I was waiting for something more. And, injuries happen, and then WWE's like pulls the cord. He's also a small dude. I think NXT is the best spot for him because the size is great for him. Everybody's there. Yeah. They're on the same size. They're all, let's be honest, normal sized people.
Yeah.
They're all built like us. Like
definitely true.
So it makes sense for him to be there. We can go to another group of people real quick. EC3. We talked about EC3. He was never being used. So you get EC3. He's pulled up to the main roster. And what do you guys do with him?
Okay, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna take that. It might be pretty hard to do, but I might make him a tag team with Eric Young. Him and Eric. Yes, they have chemistry already as far as Impact goes, and I might even throw Drake Mavericks in there as a mouthpiece. They're gonna get over. Even like a lot more over than AOP were when they got Drake Maverick, but they didn't know what to do with AOP at the time as well.
All right.
So like that's pretty much the only thing I would do, and I would build that with the great tag team that's just in SmackDown, because there's not really that many in Raw, but I would make them go from brand to brand, fucking shit up. Like you're gonna use me. You're gonna have to. You're gonna respect me, and you're gonna look at what I'm doing, and you're gonna want to utilize me.
I'm gonna have him be a fake Triple H.
Like Gilbert?
No, not a fake Triple H, but I want him to like be on some CEO type level. And
I wanted him to be like some $1 Million Man type shit, because that's what they were going for.
Owning and trying to take over WWE.
Yep.
And Triple H is standing in his way.
Okay.
And him like I want him to like be like a bizarro version of Triple H. Like he starts his own like group called like I don't know, the Revolution or something like this.
Yeah.
He starts something of that nature. Feuds with Triple H because I think Triple H, when done correctly, will put somebody over. We talk about his
absolutely,
but he'll put somebody over he respects. So that type of feud going in because they're both physical specimens. I wouldn't have a long match with them.
No, not at all.
No, not. Like a solid, like I would have to pull Triple H like, yo, bro, 45 minutes? We're not doing that.
No, we're doing 20.
Batista all over again. We're doing a solid 15 and we're getting out of there.
15, yeah, 15 would definitely do.
15 to 20, that's perfect, honestly.
Yeah.
15 to 20 with them, do a thing, get a little thing. I don't want them to ever fight, but I want him to be like, run up in Triple H's office. Like he's trying to take the top spot. He always talks about him being that 1%er. Prove it.
Exactly.
So exactly. Throw some money around and go at the other top, the main top guy that we all know.
Because I always liked EC3 even when he was in TNA Impact because
that was good.
He has a complete package in my opinion but he's a little bit of a throwback. Like his look, the way he moves in the ring is kind of like attitude.
Yeah.
I think he's gold. We can go to Alex. What would be your GMO type of move?
Honestly speaking, like you pretty much hit the nail on the head. Like he was promoted as the 1% guy, like top 1%. Like I would look at him kind of like JBL-ish, kind of like trying to take over the company, just like you said, or maybe like it was so easy to do with him coming out in your suits, looking all good, but when it came down to it, kind of somewhat looking almost like Tony Starkish, like fuck it, and just coming down and fucking people up. Like if you can't get your way, just start whooping people's ass into submission and be like, yo, we're gonna do this from now on. Go ahead, do the thing with Triple H. That sounds fucking awesome. Or even like with Vince, have a head-to-head with Vince one day in the back, like, yo, I'm gonna take your shit over eventually. Like you could have done storylines like that, just like you said, or at least even taking over NXT. Like if they would have started him with that stuff, taking over NXT just like that, like it would have made sense if you would have made him a champion. But no, they just fucking shot him up without even a title, without even the mid-card title. Like nobody knew what to expect from him. And then when he had his matches with Elias and shit and here and there, like nobody gave a fuck because they weren't given reasons to give a fuck to begin with. And that's the problem. So I would have went the JBL route, the millionaire billionaire route, just to make it seem like, okay, this guy's coming in hot, like, and we got to be ready for him.
Yeah, because I thought it was a waste of him going against Velveteen. Then it didn't really do anything for him. So supposedly he was thrown into the mix when the call-ups were happening. Like there was never any like
just randomly, just like
like because
if you don't have 3 stories for me, don't call me up. If you don't have 3, and that's at least 6 months. Don't give me a match. Give
attention to abusing him. Trips just threw him in there because Vince wanted some people to be called up, so he just tossed them. Because remember that call was very random.
It was super random.
That was the one with Law.
Yeah. And a lot of it didn't make any sense. Everybody was like, "What? Oh, but he just got to NXT. What's going on here?" And he was called up. But the story goes, he was just tossed into the bunch, and there was never any intentions of really using him. That's what it was with him, and it's pretty sad. But he's been cutting some phenomenal promos lately.
Oh yeah,
I think it might be a work. I'm gonna put it out there.
Might be.
So, who do you guys have? You guys toss some names out there.
What would you guys do with Bobby Roode?
He wasn't released?
No, he was not released.
We're talking about released people, bro.
He just wants to talk.
Listen, at this point, why wouldn't he be released, though?
But he hasn't been. You could have just went to your man Rusev. They're not utilizing anybody.
Nah.
Do you? What about Rusev then? This man. Like,
No, I didn't not know it was only names of people that were released.
But I get you. He might as well be released.
Exactly.
Might as well. I agree.
His contract might be up in the next couple of months. That's probably what it is. Rusev, I don't know. Like, there's a lot.
I think they missed the ball with him so badly when Rusev Day. Like, he had all the momentum. He had all the shirts being sold. Everything was on him, and they didn't pull the fucking trigger when they had. Natural. Huh?
I said, and it was natural. It was
it was completely organic, and they just didn't pull the trigger. But they did what they did. They did what they could. And honestly, up until that point of the Rusev Day, when we actually thought, like, oh, shit, he might actually get the actual push because he's big enough. He's fast enough. He can talk. He's fun. If you let him, he's fucking funny. I watched him in like a couple episodes of Total Divas randomly that he was in. And I'm like, yo, this dude is legit funny. Not giving a fuck. So, like, for him to not be given that push at that time when his popularity was huge and like close to bursting, huge mistake. And where do you go from there? How do you get that organically back? You can't, because then you're going to try to shove it down people's throats a la Roman Reigns when they should have pulled the trigger 2 to 3 years ago before he won his actual championship. Like, it just, at this point, there was really nothing they could do with Rusev. And I think they did the best they could when he came in. But like, at the time, like up until when they fucked up, I think that was all she wrote. After that big ass swell of support and organic like following, that shit was all gone. WWE was like, nah, let's just move on to somebody else.
I can kind of disagree with that one. I can disagree with that. I believe that there was still momentum going with him because after the Lana Bobby situation. And I know what you're saying. It was a waste of time, but he had support. He had support. And those were the highest viewed things on fucking YouTube for some reason.
They were.
We weren't watching it. We were watching it.
Liked
it. I mean, have you seen Lana?
Like, yes, it's Lana. I did like it for a little bit. I felt like they were just handling the whole situation wrong, but it was an okay storyline that could have been better.
It was. They threw some random things in there, like Maria Kanellis and like her husband was in there, and then you had what's her name, homegirl, Liv
Morgan,
Liv Morgan popping up, and it was just like, what? It was very Springerish.
Yeah, it was very random, and I was just like, wait, why is she in this shit? And then they started. And then the other slap in the face on top of that is like, you're getting somebody else that's not an actual lesbian to come in and do the lesbian role, like, and that actually pissed off, like, actually kind of like really bothered and pissed off the lesbian, like,
community.
The LGBTQ community, like, it didn't have to go there. It did not. There was no reason for it.
It was the storyline to get everyone else paid. That's what I think about it. It was just the storyline to get people paid.
Use that momentum because he could have became a white hot babyface.
Oh, for sure.
He was at that point.
So you speak about how he's very funny. They could have made him into like this bachelor, living a bachelor lifestyle. Went off on that. Then it's like Rusev Day comes back. It's all about me. And he's just having a good time. And I wouldn't put him into the main event position. I'll give him a high mid-card level, intercontinental title. Maybe tag with somebody that could kind of help him out, like have a storyline of him trying to get back into the dating scene, have like him going on different apps and stuff of that nature.
Oh, kind of like Otis with Mandy?
Yeah, but you could have kind of switched up and made him like borderline Mark Henry sexual chocolate.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Work that out a little bit, have that going for like a solid 6 months run with that one, get him a couple of girls, get him a couple of segments going on, then slowly build on because he was over because people hated Lana so much. Lana's heel heat helped out so much with putting over Rusev. And they didn't want to use him on that level. And you could have had a ton of people they could have really done on that. But that's just my like weird brain working at that.
No, that definitely
It makes sense.
Yeah, that definitely works because I'm gonna go and make that storyline a little bit longer. Like, not even make the storyline longer, but once you kill the storyline of giving him all of that, giving him the title, somebody is underestimating him in the back, and they make a promo, not even a promo, but they just make like a little segment on that, and they piss Rusev off, and you bring back pissed off Rusev. Like, that right there is perfect. Like, he come back with the accolade, not even just the accolade. Like, if two people start pissing him off, like, it can definitely work to put him in that main title in a span of a year. That could have worked.
Imagine him going on a date and he gets catfished by another wrestler. Like, they jump him in the back or something. Like,
that would be funny.
That would be great.
To the restaurant, he's like, "Yo, where's my date at?" Then it's like he's getting beat down and stuff of that nature. Like, there's so much that they can do. I don't know if this
they don't do those things anymore, though. That's the thing.
It's Disney. It's not going to happen on Disney TV.
It's too many writers there.
That's so.
There are way too many writers.
It's like,
for me, it feels like they have no actual lead writer, and everybody's just doing random shit. Oh, and showing it to Vince, like, here.
It's Vince.
Vince writer.
It's his show. He writes.
It's shit writing.
He goes,
no, that's what I'm saying. It's a million people fucking writing stuff out and going, "Here, Vince, look at this. Fuck that. Here, Vince, look at this. I like this one. Here, Vince. Oh, let me put this one that makes no sense to put with this one together." That's literally what he does.
Yeah. Let's go to another one. Zack Ryder.
I like Zack Ryder. Zack Ryder was good.
I really have nothing.
You know what? I don't have anything for Zack right now, but the thing is, like, his own following, how he did the internet champion and all that shit, like, he generated that himself organically, and respect for that. Thing is, like, he could have been he has the physique to have been the fucking, like, a main eventer if they actually pushed him right. But because of the whole internet champion shit, like, he got stuck in that role, in that hole, and, like, they never really went forward with him. He had that one day IC title reign after he beat The Miz and then lost it the next day. It's like, why would you do that to him? Like, yes, in the history books, he will forever be an Intercontinental Champion. At the end of the day, it's only going to be
one day.
Okay, one day. Not even 24 hours. Like, it was literally, like, actually, it was 24 hours. But still, like, it's just, it was fucked up. And the thing is, like, he is a former Intercontinental United States and Tag Team Champion. But, like, he could have been so much more if they would have just went with him. Because like I said, he had the following. You could have put him in like feuds with, like, Elias, because that's two big dudes that are both athletic as fuck. You could have put him in a feud with EC3, like that would have been done really well. And I don't know, man. I don't know what happened where they just dropped the ball with him. Because remember, he was an edgehead, so, like, he had the exposure, but like,
maybe he just didn't have the backup. Like, after a while, people are leaving, and cool, you get a title, but for one day, that's something's there for a one night title reign. Like, something is there where it's like, okay, we respect you, but we don't really care that much for you. We don't like, there's not that much love in the back for him. For some weird reason, that's just my way of thinking. Because if you had people to care for you, you're gonna have at least a month of a run. At least one good. I don't remember any of his feuds outside of The Miz and Kurt Hawkins and Alex Riley, who no one really remembers.
I would have put him with The Miz, and
arguably, yeah,
and John Morrison. I'm about to call him Johnny Impact. My bad. But
Johnny everything.
I still call Drew Galloway by his name.
Yeah, exactly. Drew Galloway, not Drew McIntyre. I don't fucking refer to him by McIntyre. It's Drew Galloway. Fuck out of here.
So I would have put those three together as being Hollywood superstars type of thing. What The Miz and Morrison are doing, just throw Zach into the mix. And if you want to keep, I would even have, like, a fake being the elite, but a being Zack Ryder.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
He had
But
the internet presence. It was easy for him, and they just didn't do it.
In his promos, like he's doing like his like blog, he's going around because you already did that already. Now the problem is, and this is what I've read, and this is what I've heard. I don't know how true this is that you can't be a star if you created your own star.
Of course not. Of course
No.
you can't.
Vince has to create you.
Vince has to create you. And there's this story, I don't know how true this is, once again, that when Taz debuted it, and I remember when he debuted it,
Yep.
the roof went off in the building. Now
Taz said it himself, but he was like, "Oh shit, no, please don't," because
yes,
yeah,
he said it. He was like, "No, please stop. I need to relax."
he was like, "I'm fucked." He said it. He was like, "I'm fucked," because like everybody knew who I was.
That's the same. It's the same thing with AJ Styles at Royal Rumble. The same thing. It was a hell of a fucking pop, and Vince didn't want to utilize it. You see how he got a WrestleMania match that year, but it took him a year to get a title match or even a win for a WrestleMania match.
And I think it goes back to what you said, Kula, where you need somebody backstage that's going to put you on. It's going to make sure, because Vince is, and let's be honest, he's a billionaire. Yeah. He's a billionaire. Like, I got so much shit to do. I'm not worried about what's going on in New Japan. And I don't think he has those people around him or those people that he's going to listen to. Like, yo, bro, like, this dude is that guy. Like, you got to understand this.
No, because everybody's a yes man. Everybody's just like, yeah, you're right, Vince.
Yeah. So, and I think that's one of the biggest things is that, but with AJ, I don't know what deal he signed with the devil, but they were never going to bury him.
No, they weren't. There was too much money invested into AJ Styles to bury him. Fuck out of here.
Like, because think about it. Vince would have thrown him to NXT, but
he wanted to.
Straight to main.
Straight went to the thing, and he debuted at Royal Rumble. Like that
was a month less. That was less than a month where he left New Japan too. So it makes sense to just use him off of just that pop, or to even say, oh, he only has that pop because he was just in a New Japan main event or whatever. But some things are just undeniable. I don't know what kind of contract he got. It has to be amazing. But you got to remember, this man is also 30-something. He's 30-something, and he has
He's about to be 40.
Yes, he's about to be 40, and he has a long fucking resume from WCW as well.
Bro, he signed that shit with the devil, bro. Because they treat him like gold over there. Yeah. He's one of the few guys that's not, I would say, a product of OVW NXT.
Yeah.
That's on top. You know what I mean? That's not a throwback wrestler from the Attitude Era, Ruthless Aggression Era. You know what I mean?
And even he was given WWE hell with renegotiating last year. So
of course
they need him. They need him, and they know they need him. They know it.
Question: we're going off. So, what do you guys think about Nia Jax?
In terms of what?
Just in general, because Booker T.
I like her.
What
did he say? I know everyone kind of hates her for like, I know like sometimes it's in-ring skills, but at the same time, I liken her to a female version of Andre, not based on unsafety, but just based on fucking size and strength.
So recently, you know about the whole botch that she did with Kairi Sane, right? You know,
yeah.
We all saw that. I don't think it was as bad as people say it was, but whatever. Unsafe is unsafe.
Yeah. It could have been worse, of course.
Booker basically said, who does this girl think she is? Because she walked out on WWE twice.
Yep. She's The Rock's cousin. That's what it is. She's The Rock's cousin.
I know it twice. So I love her. We all know I love her. I'm not going to talk bad about her, but I want to know your guys' opinions.
I don't have a major issue with her except for the keeping other wrestlers safe. Like, it hasn't only been her. She's even hurt her own best friend, Alexa Bliss. Like, It's
There's
and
a long
it's a
list of
constant thing. There is a long list of names, so that's what the problem is. It's a constant thing. So like when you see that it's not being addressed, and then on top of that, the walkouts, it's like Booker T's right. Who the fuck do you think you are? And the answer comes back, I'm The Rock's cousin, bitch. So it's like, what do you really like? She does have pull in the back because she does. The thing is, like, I personally don't have a problem with her, but professionally, like, she needs to take care of people. It's that simple. And
because nobody don't want to get in the ring with you.
Yeah, look at somebody like The Miz. People might not like him. Has he ever hurt anybody? Has he ever done it? No. It's fucking 10 plus years doing everything that he's had to do and never hurting not one person. And people, might call it playing it safe, but no, he's always had pretty good matches. He's always been a dependable champion when he's been the Intercontinental Champion. Great promo on top of that. So, like, the thing is with Nia Jax, it's just like, if you were to correct the issue with the safety, wrestler safety, then I think you wouldn't have as much heat from people or other wrestlers overall. Like, that's what it is. Because you are bigger than most other women and you are more powerful. That's the thing. You have to learn how to, like, actually work around that.
And I think that's one of the things that a lot of people don't get is that her sheer size is different, bro. Like, she's built like a dude. Like, she's the size of bigger than some dudes, to be honest. Let's be real. She's bigger than some dudes. And it was not a bad thing. I'm all for it. But ring safety, I don't think she's fully understood, like, her power.
No, she hasn't.
And because when she had the match with Ronda, it was amazing. Her match with Ronda was some of Ronda's best matches.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
I can't think of a better match, actually.
Yeah, that's probably her better matches.
Because that her match at WrestleMania was trash on so many levels, and I'm not
the tag match and the triple threat match, both trash.
Yeah, you saw it. The one thing I give Ronda, she didn't have much time to get ready. It takes years to be at that level, like, and Ronda gets an applause because it takes a lot to do all of that, and she took
it like fish to water. Honestly, like it was pretty fucking close. But besides that, like, yeah, man, I like I said, I don't really have an issue with Nia that much.
I just want to throw it out there. Let's do another name before we get out of here because I gotta get out of here soon. Let's do a harder one. Sarah Logan.
I liked her.
Going with Sarah Logan.
I liked her. She was cool. It's kind of hard because she was part of the Riot Squad, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Maybe put her with the Viking Raiders.
Yeah, that would have made a lot of sense.
Isn't that one of them her husband?
Yeah, I believe so.
That would have made a lot of sense. Because, like, she always seemed kind of out of place from the Riot Squad, honestly, with the whole, like, Viking-ish shit looking. So, like, it just didn't make a lot of sense. Like, she was in the Elimination Chamber match too, wasn't she?
Yeah.
She got annihilated, but I mean, either way, like, it's not her own fault. But she's actually talented. Like, she's a good wrestler.
Real talented in the ring. Mm-hmm. And what would I have done with her?
There's not much.
I'd have sent her back to NXT.
I probably would have.
If you're gonna break up the Riot Squad, even though I think they shouldn't have done that, it was a little bit, like you said, it made sense because it was like the Riot Squad type of thing. Like, I think they were going for, like,
the different chicks, the group of difference, pretty much.
Remember,
it was kind of like Birds of Prey almost.
Yes, that's exactly what I was going to tip on my tongue of what I was going to say. It was like Birds of Prey. It was like a bunch of a group of women, different types coming together and stuff of that nature.
Outcast, the misfits,
the outcast type of misfits in the industry, and they could have done more with it. But honestly speaking, I would have taken all three of them, put them down to NXT, and have like your first legit women's faction. Because there's not too many of those out there. Yeah. Like, you have tag teams per se, but you don't have factions. Like
and back in the day when we had BAD, that don't really count to me. It was good while it lasted, but right now it would matter more with multiple women titles, tag titles, and single titles.
Put a title on one of them, have them coming out, do some stuff with them. And if you did it, and if they were mismatching, keep the fur on it, but get it black fur. All black fur.
I think they didn't know what to do with them based on, like, they didn't have much to do with them because of Ruby Riot's injuries as well. Like, injuries sideline everything.
I also think that they don't have your magazine good looks. They're good looking women, but they don't have those magazine good looks. Sometimes big corporations don't know what to do with them. Like, yo, who do we sell you to? Like, how does this work?
Between that and they don't know how to make them up, because like Charlotte is an okay looking woman without makeup, but when she puts on makeup, she looks amazing. So it's just, I guess it's also their style as well.
Yeah, and I think they should just really push, like, because NXT does a great job with the women's division, unlike AEW. Yeah, that's the one thing I will say. They should just put them down there and have them work out things in the AEW and be like these badass group of women that just gonna start kicking chicks' asses all left and right. And they did that in the beginning. They could do something like have them go back down there. Now, aesthetic wise, I would have changed them up. I would have made them all black. Riot Squad type of thing. Let's go with who the leader is. Everybody should like kind of be that. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then get somebody else from NXT down there to join them, like maybe Mia Yim.
Yeah.
That would have been a good look. Good for women down there doing things, kicking ass, taking over the division.
Pretty much want the Bullet Club of women on that. Yeah. Like, and that would have made fucking sense because it just does. Because like, look at how Liv Morgan looks now. Like her attire, that would have been perfect back then. Instead of the fucking oh my god, what's her name? I just said Birds of Prey. Harley Quinn thing going on. Yeah, and I knew why they did it. We all knew why they did it. We all knew what concept was behind it. And it was cute, but it played out real fast. And you also said Ruby Riot's injuries played a huge factor. I
don't know with injuries. I don't know why they don't do like the old school style of like still have them like turn them into a manager for the time being. I don't understand why they don't do that.
That's true, but we don't know if she was in a cast or something and she couldn't leave the crib or something.
That's true.
True. But even still,
but like, in this day of social media and connectivity, that's not a fucking excuse anymore. Honestly, it's not. Yeah. It's really not. You could have done video packages with directions like do this, do that. Like you could have had a lot going on, and that's where I think a lot of the disconnect is. Like
now, speaking of it, you're right.
Yeah, because that like. Even still, like you'll be backstage in the cast, but you'll still be backstage with other talent and maybe even build in relationships with them. And it might be a personal thing where some don't want to do it. Some would rather not travel. And of course, if they have families, it makes sense. But I still think that might be a way to go for some people. And I think when it actually does happen, that'd be great with you just show.
Like make her like what's his name? Nick Fury type of shit. Give Ruby right. Because she
yeah.
I think she could pull that off.
Probably.
Put her in a sling and just have her running around talking to people.
You know what? You're right. You're right on that.
Like shitting on people. You can't touch me. I'm untouchable at this moment. But when I get back, you're number one on the list.
Because I heard it broke their heart. They were like legit good friends and everything. They were cool with each other, so that it was kind of hurtful for them. And what are they doing with Liv now? Nothing. She had her little like moment.
They have Liv and Ruby going back and forth right now. It doesn't look the best, but it's looking okay. She just got a win over Ruby.
Well, Liv looks amazing, so it doesn't matter.
Exactly. Yeah. You can market her like easily
at all times. Yeah,
it's easy.
They kind of repackaged her to make her look a lot different, which I don't think really works, but it still works. It doesn't work as much. as the cool girl, the cool laid back chick. Now she's like kind of, I'm bad as shit, but I'm wearing all black.
The one thing I did hate about the thing was like she just looked so petrified when she was in the elimination chamber, and I was just like, I didn't like that. You shouldn't have acted that way. You should have acted like, yeah, I'm gonna fuck you up, then getting fucked up, and it would have made sense. But like, she just looked petrified to come out of that fucking chamber, and I was just like, it took it all away from me. I was like,
I mean, it was Shayna. It was Shayna.
So what?
Yeah.
Go for it. Go for it. If you're talking shit that you're all bad, you have a new look and this and that, go for it. Look at Bailey when she came out with her new look, all in black and all this and that. She went.
I love this Bailey right now.
She went for
Bailey. I love Bailey. I don't care what Janelle hates Bailey. Janelle can't stand it. But
it's because the first iteration of Bailey seems more like the real Bailey than this Bailey that we have now. That's what it is.
I like it. I just think it's like,
I like it.
With her best friend, and they got typical women. When women and their best friends don't get along, you know how it usually goes.
I like it too.
I love it. But let's wrap up real quick because I gotta head the fuck up out of here.
All right.
So guys, thank you, man. This was fun.
Anytime. You already know.
All 5 of us next time.
Oh, for sure.
Live long and prosper.
That's the goal. That is the goal. Yes. Later.
See you guys.
All right, man.
Peace.